Oh man, it's your boy Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing today? Yes, I'm a little early. I went to lunch a little early, so I had time to holler at y'all, bring y'all some premium Dallas Cowboys content. We got about an hour to chop it up, and we're gonna discuss a couple things going on in the Cowboy space, man. We're gonna talk about Dan Quinn continually trying to take away our up and coming coaches. We're going to talk about the importance of defense, and of course, we'll also talk about some of these coaching candidates for the defensive coordinator position. Right, we seen the name Rex Ryan pop up. We seen Wink Martindale name pop up in the mix. We seen Manuel name, a random guy's name pop up in the mix. We'll explain all that stuff. We'll chop it up. We'll have ourselves a good time, man. And hey, we in the liquor store, man. So hey, we're gonna get drunk on this content together. So first and foremost, before I get too deep into this, man, first I need y'all to go ahead and hit that like button on the platform. Just go ahead and hit the like button on the video, and it helps a lot. It helps a lot, honestly, bro. I can't even put into words how important it is to hit the like button on these videos, man, because the algorithm is going to promote the videos with the most likes. If you don't get likes, you don't get views, your page is going to suffer, and you'll never really grow as a channel or a platform. So if you want to see Henny do well, you want to see the liquor store do well, hit that like button, man. It goes a long way in helping your boy out and continue to grow. Hey, Meek Phillips, what's up, man? My boy said we in this bitch. Yeah, we in here, man. We in here, man. The doors of the liquor store are open. I know that it's not even noon yet, but we finna get drunk on this content together, man. Bear 24, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys had to tell, hey, it's like this, just like with Diddy, man. You got to tell Diddy no. You got to tell Dan Quinn no. Because Dan Quinn gonna try to take everything. He's trying to take all the coaches, tight end coaches, the pass game coordinators. Shit, like he out there trying to recruit everybody and their mama to come over there to Washington with him, man. And we just can't have that. We cannot have that. We gotta have somebody stay behind the coach, man. Me and T Smooth TV gonna be out there on the sideline if this keeps up. Where he's trying to poach all our coaches, man. But what's up with y'all, man? I see y'all out there in the chat box. After y'all hit that like button, I need y'all to turn right back around and hit that share button. Because first and foremost, sharing is caring. I think all our mamas, aunties, grannies done told us that. But we also believe in manifestation inside of the liquor store. Now, we did not apparently manifest hard enough for the Dallas Cowboys this year because we all saw how that ended. But I still believe in manifestation. So if you want the Dallas Cowboys to win in 2024, if you want the Dallas Cowboys to win their 6th title, I want y'all to share the content 6 times. It could be the 6 different Facebook groups, 6 different group chats, 6 different family members, co-workers. You ain't even really got to like the person that you send this to. If they are a Dallas Cowboy hater, you can still send this to them so they can actually learn some football. Because folks that hate on the Dallas Cowboys usually ain't that bright. So, yeah, you can send this to a hater too, man. Just make sure you share the content 6 times and also drop the 6 emojis like my boy JVB boy just did. We in the liquor store, so he dropped 6 shot glasses, man. That's love right there. Salute to you. Bruce got the toxic juice. What's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the content, my brother. I see you out there, man. So y'all done hit that like button. Y'all done hit that share button. And the most important thing I need y'all to do, man, before we jump into this, I need y'all to slap the shit out of a Washington Commanders fan right now. But you need to slap the shit out of them. You need to slap the shit out of Dan Quinn. You need to slap the shit out of all them dudes over here trying to sabotage what we got going on before we even get started in the 2024 season, man. Because listen, they out here trying to take all the coaches. They out here trying to perpetrate, talk down on the social sites and stuff. So we can't have none of that, man. I really want us to go ahead and start the season. I want us to open the season against the Washington Commanders, beat their ass by like 40 points, so we can just go ahead and put all this other nonsense out the bed, man. They been talking real greasy ever since they got Dan Quinn over there. They been talking real greasy. Hey, them boys 77, Corey, what's up with you, man? I see you drop the 6 championship trophies. 55 S.A. Richburg, what's up with you, my brother? Thank you for tapping in and showing love. Salute to y'all. So yeah, man, let's get it. So y'all done hit the like already. Y'all done hit the shares already. Y'all done slapped the shit out of those Commanders fans. Y'all know if y'all want to help keep the lights on, you hit the Cash App or the Super Chat. So now let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. So let's start with Dan Quinn. Let's start with Dan Quinn out here trying to get all the coaches. Let's start there. All right. So we knew yesterday, right? We knew yesterday that they were trying to recruit London Wells for some particular position over there with the Washington Commanders, and the Dallas Cowboys told them boys no, right? So London Wells, and also when y'all think about it, man, I know folks don't really be tripping about the position coaches like that, but when you think about the position that these guys coach and how well that they actually played, you really want to keep those guys, right? Because London Wells definitely helped Jake Ferguson in his development. So do we really want London Wells to just walk out of the building and when we need some more of that magic on a second year Schoonmaker, on a second year John Steven Smith Jr.? So I know we don't really be tripping on position coaches like that, but when the position that they coach does well, you really want to keep those guys around in the facility in some facet, right? So Jake Ferguson became a Pro Bowl tight end with London Wells, helping him develop. So I'm glad the Dallas Cowboys told them boys hell no, and he got to stay in the building. And really, they also did the same thing with Al Harris. So according to this, they also reached out to the Dallas Cowboys about interviewing Al Harris. Right, they wanted to interview Al Harris for a position over there with Washington, and you got to tell them no. You got to treat them like Diddy, man. You got to treat Dan Quinn just like Diddy right now, because hey, Dan Quinn want to party. You got to tell him no, man. So Al Harris will not be going anywhere for the 2024 season. He's under contract. His services will stay in Dallas. Yo, Millard, what's up with you, man? Michael Nelson, what's up with you, man? What's good with y'all, man? Make sure y'all run those likes and shares up inside the liquor store, man. We getting drunk in the liquor store, on a Thursday morning. And listen, the weekend is right around the corner, man. So don't be shy. Y'all can get as drunk on the content as you want to. Bear 24 said I wouldn't let him get them just on the way he game plan against the Packers. That looked like he sold us out in that game. It didn't look well, it didn't look good. I know it's probably not the case, but at the same time, the visuals and the optics, they don't sit well with me. They don't sit well with me. Yo, what's up with your action, pal? Salute to you, my guy. They were tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my brother. So y'all remember Al Harris made it seem like he was gonna die with Dan Quinn. Like wherever Dan Quinn went, Al Harris was gonna go. Because you remember, Al Harris said he would follow this man to Alaska. And they were, I think he said the Alaskan Bluebirds. He was coaching the Alaskan Bluebirds. He would sit up under Dan Quinn and coach with Dan Quinn. And from the sounds of it, if he had his way, he would have followed him out the door. He would have followed that man out the door. Because remember, he said this.
To go and get a head coaching job. Honestly, in whatever capacity he wanted me to come, I'm there. I'm there. It could be in Alaska. He could be coaching the Alaskan Bluebirds and call me, Al, I need you. I'm there.
Wow.
So remember, right, that was Al Harris earlier this year. So he said if Dan Quinn was going to fly the coop, he was going to be the co-pilot. So he wanted to leave with him. Honestly, he wanted to leave with them. So I'm not surprised that the Dallas Cowboys vetoed it, right? But Al Harris did not want to be here. But even though he wanted to leave with Dan Quinn, it's a good thing that we kept him in the building because Al Harris has definitely helped your cornerback room in terms of their development. In terms of their development, you can't deny what they've done. He said Al sounds like Ricky Smiley. He sounded funny. That was funny. He sounded funny to me. Saying he would follow that man to Alaska. That's love right there, man. That speaks on two things. Dan Quinn seems like him and Dan Quinn had an amazing relationship. But I'm not gonna even really dive into that shit like that though, honestly. He said Al Harris and his trail technique can go too. But see, they tried to get away from the trail technique with Trayvon Diggs in his second year here. You know what I mean? 2021, they were fishing for the interceptions. That's why he gave us so much yardage. That's why he also got the 11 interceptions. What's up with you, Chris Boats, Florida Reptile? What's up with you, man? So they did the trail technique stuff in 2021, but 2022, you know, Al Harris' focus with Trayvon Diggs was more in your face bump and run coverage. That's what he wanted Trayvon to do that year. Because they got the picks, they got the accolades. He helped to make that money. But then, you know, he reeled them in, and they wanted him to play more sound technique in the second year. So I think he could teach both. I do believe he could teach both because Trayvon Diggs' coverage grades were much better in 2022, and to start the year, his coverage grades were impeccable. Right? It's just once Trayvon Diggs went down, and you had to move to Ron Bland, who is not the world's greatest man-to-man coverage corner in the world. When you got the Ron Bland playing a large amount of man coverage, you got to ask him to do a little bit more. You got to ask him to go and fish for the picks and try to fish for the big plays and things like that. Because I don't think he can hold up in man-to-man coverage straight up, you know, every snap of the game. I think he can learn and develop eventually, but you know, like, he's not the world's best man-to-man guy. He had to play a whole ton of man-to-man with Trayvon Diggs going down and him having to move back to the outside. You got us the poet said, peace to Henny and everybody in the liquor store. Peace to you as well. Shout out to everybody just now sliding in, man. Make sure y'all hit that like and share button on the way in. Make sure y'all slap the dog shit out of a Commanders fan. Make sure y'all hit that share button. But we in the liquor store and we rocking, man. Salute to y'all. So yeah, but those are big moves, man. Those are really big moves. When you talk about the fact of what Lunda did for the tight end room, watching the development of Jake Ferguson from year 1 to year 2, it's a win. Keep him in the building because hopefully he can also help with the development of John Stevens Jr. Maybe even help with the development of Schoonmaker, who did not get out to a great start. So maybe him staying in the building, them having that constant in that tight end room will help them with their development. Just like I know for a fact that having Al Harris here will help with the development of these other young corners, right? Because he helped Trayvon, he's helped the Ron Bland. I'm pretty sure if, you know, with some time and some technique and some extra work, he could also help Eric Scott, right? So it's a win-win. Dallas Cowboys kept the Washington Commanders from getting better along their coaching staff, and we kept some good positional coaches in place in Dallas. And so that's a win-win in my opinion. Dwayne Brown, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in. Carlos Edwards, what's up with you? Thank y'all for tapping in and showing love to the content. So moving along, we just talked about the Dan Quinn trying to steal some more coaches from us. That did not work out in his favor. So let's move along, man. Said Al was warning us that Dan Q was leaving. Al don't want to leave. Diggs and Bland, he'll never coach two corners on the same defense. Hey, you might not ever get an opportunity to coach two all-pro corners at one time. Said Ferguson don't give Wells much as he gives him attending Kelsey and Kittle's tight end camp. We'll see. All right, so let's move along to the next talking points in regards to this. It said whoever is the next DC, if the defense player not doing their job, sit their ass on the bench and next man up. That's the only props I can give Ron Rivera. I've seen him do that. Ron Rivera hasn't been a defensive coordinator in a very long time. Now, he tried to call plays last year once they fired their defensive coordinator, and them boys were getting 30-pieced. You can make the argument that the personnel was not in place, but you know. But let's move along, man. Let's move along to the next talking point. Because if y'all see the actual title on the show, you know, it says that defenses win championships. Clebo, what's Gucci, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love. So if you look at the title on the show, it says that defenses win championships. So let me show y'all something. I know that this is a little hard to see, so I'm going to read this off to y'all. Matter of fact, let me see if I can increase the size of this thing. Nope. All right, I might just have to read this one to you. because this is a list of the rankings of offenses and defenses for every team that has won a Super Bowl. If I'm not mistaken, ever. I think it's the complete list. If I'm not mistaken, this is the complete list. So let me see if I can get this pulled up on my phone. I can read this shit off to y'all. Because I'm just trying to make a quick point about defenses being important to actually winning championships. Because if you go up and down this list, you're not going to find too many below average defenses that ended up winning championships. There's a couple of them. Don't get me wrong. There's always an exception to the rule. There's always an exception to the rule. But I see 1, 2, 3. I see only 3 defenses that ranked in the 20s that ever won championships in NFL history. Those defenses were the 2006 Colts. Their defense ranked 23. The 2009 Saints, their defense ranked 20th. The 2011 Giants, their defense ranked 25th. Right, and so that's a bunch of teams, right? There's a bunch of teams that didn't win a championship. Everybody else is it top 15, top 17, top 12. I see the 7th best, first best, second best, top 12, 8, first, 5th, 10th, second, first, 13th, first, second, 6th, 8th, third, first, second, 5th, second, 6th, third, first, 6th, 8th, 4th. Right? You don't usually win championships if your defense is bullshit. So if your defense is not up to par, you're not going to win a championship. I know it's cute to see an offense go out there and score a ton of points, but truth be told, you have a better chance of winning with an offense outside of the top 10 than you do winning with a defense, that's mediocre. How many of these offenses were not top 10 and still won championships? Right? There's a bunch of them. There's a ton of them. Right? You take a look at the 2015 Broncos. They were the 19th ranked offense, but they had the number 4 overall defense. They were able to win the championship. Right? You take a look at the 2008 Steelers. They were the 20th ranked offense, but they had the number 1 defense and they won a championship. You take a look at the 2007 Giants. They didn't have anything. They were a below average offense and defense, so they're actually a super outlier. New England Patriots, number 12 offense, but they had the number 1 defense. 2002, the Bucks, 18th ranked offense, won with the number 1 defense. 2000 Ravens, 14th ranked offense, won with a top defense. 1990 Giants, 15th ranked offense, won with the number 1 defense. So it's very rare. It's very, very rare that you can go out there with a half-ass defense and win a championship. It don't usually work like that. It said, why won't the Cowboys call Vrabel? I mean, you never know, right? Because not everything gets reported to the media, right? Not everything gets reported to us as the masses. They might have called Mike Vrabel, and he could have quietly turned them down. You never really know. It hasn't been reported that they have contacted him, but you never really know what goes on behind closed doors. Like, you never really know what goes on behind closed doors. They don't let every single move that they make it to the headlines. Said Jameson Taylor, what's up with you, man? They were tapping in, just got his teeth clean. Hey, man, that's what's up. That's what's up, my boy. Said you notice on that list when the defense wasn't great, the offense was ranked in the top 10 and lower. Most of the time, yeah. Most of the time, you need something to offset that, and it's very hard to do because you got to also remember there's been very few number 1 offenses that actually won championships. The Chiefs in 2022, number one offense in the National Football League. Rams in 1991. 97 Packers. The list is not as big as you think of number one offenses ending up winning a championship. There's a handful. There's a handful in over 40 tries. So what I'm trying to say is, I know it sounds cliche as hell, right? Because everybody just run out and say defenses win championships. That's partially true. But in the grand scheme of things, like when you look at the entire history of Super Bowls, like top tier defenses are the one that win championships. Top tier defenses are the one that win championships. You can't stop nobody. You don't win championships. You just don't. You just don't, bro. And that gets back to my point about the Dallas Cowboys defense. Because when I show you this, can we sit here and continue to lie to ourselves like we had everything that we needed to win a championship when the Dallas Cowboys defense was not good? The Dallas Cowboys defense was not good at the end of the season. When you take a look at this, I showed you Connor Lisley, final 7 weeks, what the Dallas Cowboys EPA per dropback was. The Dallas Cowboys ranked 28 in the National Football League in EPA per dropback. So they weren't good. They were not good, bro. And you're wondering what EPA means. It actually means expected points added, commonly referred to as EPA, and I'm just reading you the definition. It's a measure of how well a team performed relative to expectations. So it's an efficiency stat. It's a stat based around efficiency and grading you out on what you're supposed to do and how you actually did, right? Because there's a standard for each down and distance, and then if you do better than that, you get into the positive. If you do worse than that, you get into the negative range, right? So that's how they come up with EPA. Dallas Cowboys per drop back were awful the final seven weeks of the season. And then we gotta add in the other stuff that we know about this defense as a whole. Dallas Cowboys run defense. What did the Dallas Cowboys rank in terms of run defense? We weren't good, were we? Matter of fact, I'll pull up the numbers. Just so I ain't out here looking crazy. I'll pull up the team defense for rushing. Don't worry about it. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. So let me share the screen. I don't want to come off like I'm just complaining about everything, but here we go. These are the teams with the best run defense. I don't know. According to NFL.com, right? This is their stats. These are the teams with the best run defenses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Dallas Cowboys ranked 16th in stopping the run. The exact definition of being mid. A middling team is stopping the run. And this was with us being able to score points. Like, we were one of the worst. We were a bottom tier, a bottom half run defense, despite the fact that we blew out damn near everybody. Teams were not even trying to run the ball on us half the time because of our offense, and we were still outside of the top 10 in being in stopping the run. Teams didn't even get a chance to run the ball on us like that, and we still were not a great unit in stopping the run at all. Then we also got to remember the Dallas Cowboys defense gave up over 28 points per game when they played teams with winning records. So put this in perspective. You couldn't stop the run. You couldn't stop teams with decent coordinators and decent quarterbacks from scoring the ball against you. So you were not really a good team. Shout out to you got us the poll for the $5 super chat. Said, are we admitting now that we truly were only good against bad teams? Sad faces, tragic. Next season, we got to be more honest, realistic, smarter fans. And listen, it's not even just that, right? Because we split. Like when we played teams with winning records, we split. We were 4-4. We played 8 teams that ended the season with winning records. We won 4 of those games. We lost 4 of those games. But we got embarrassed a lot of those games that we lost. 49ers put us on their knees and spanked us, man. 49ers made us look like we didn't belong on the field with them. The Buffalo Bills made us look like we didn't belong on the field with them. We went up to Philadelphia, played bad fundamental football, and lost. Right? Then, we played a decent game in Miami, and our defense collapsed at the very end of that game. Gave up the game-winning drive in a similar fashion to what happened, the next week when we almost gave up a game-winning drive to the Lions. So, situational defense was not good. Our points of production against these top flight teams were not good. So, yeah, it's the truth, man. It's the truth. Said we should have known we were not good when we lost against the Cardinals. I mean, that seemed like the kiss of death, losing to the Cardinals. In hindsight, it looks like the kiss of death. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to overreact, but like hell, we lost to them. Philly lost to them. We both were one and done. Shit. I mean, that might be the kiss of death. Losing to the Cardinals, man. Losing to the Cardinals might be the kiss of death. But what's up with you, Andrew? They been tapping in and rocking with us in the liquor store, man. Willie T, it's all good, man. It's better late than never. And listen, we in the liquor store. We got our feet kicked up. We done pulled us a drink. We good, man. But thank you for tapping in and rocking with me, man. Good to see you, my brother. So, yeah, man, the Dallas Cowboys had so many issues. And listen, I already showed you. Defenses are the ones that actually wins championships. The Dallas Cowboys did not have a championship caliber defense. They didn't. In the grand scheme of things, there are very few defenses that played as bad as we did that end up winning championships. I showed y'all the graph. I showed you the numbers. I showed you the statistics. Bottom tier defenses don't usually win championships. And the Dallas Cowboys, when they played playoff caliber teams, were a bottom tier defense. So we got to be realistic in our approach next year about what groups that we need to invest in. We know damn well we need linebackers. We know that we need more size and experience in the defensive tackle positions. And we know that we need a better run game. The teams that are still playing right now, both the 49ers and the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, did I say it twice? Both the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers can run the football. They can run the football. They got two of the best linebacking corps in the National Football League. Like, we need to stop trying to reinvent the wheel and just do the things that work for the Dallas Cowboys. We need to just do the things that work for the Dallas Cowboys, man. He said, "Hey, what's up with you, Robert Howard? I see you." Yeah, we need to put that on a hat, man. We need to put that on a hat. Make linebackers great again, or some shit like that. Make linebackers great again in Dallas, man. Man, we went from having Ken Norton, we had Sean Lee, we had these good, great linebackers. I ain't gonna say good. We had these great linebackers in the middle of our defenses, and now look at us, man. We out here playing safeties at the linebacker spot, and are wondering why we're not physical, playing guys that are overmatched in size. At the most physical position on the defense, we're wondering why we're not physical enough. Yeah, the Chiefs won. Yeah, the Chiefs won quite a few games with their run game, and they've leaned on that run game heavily in the postseason, and that's really the key. You don't even have to always be a running team in the regular season, but you need to have that in your arsenal. Because in the postseason, think about it like this, man. If you are a team that's built to play in a dome, and all you can do is throw the ball around the yard, you're not going to win. Because let me ask y'all a question. What's the weather like in San Francisco this time of year. It's windy. It rains a lot. It's not pretty throw the ball around the yard football weather. It rained in San Francisco every playoff game that they played this year. Wet, soggy, horrible conditions. In Philadelphia, what's the weather like around this time of year? Might be snow, might be wind, might be rain, might be all that stuff. Green Bay, you're probably gonna play in a snowstorm, or it's gonna be sub-0 degree weathers, or below freezing weather when you go out there. You aren't gonna have this pretty ass atmosphere a lot of times. If you got to go on the road. If you got to go on the road, a lot of these teams don't play in great weather. Let's say something crazy happens and the Giants win the division. We got to go to New York and beat them. The Giants be playing in the snow too. It be snowing. It be snowing out there in New York this time of year, man. They don't got a dome. So you have to have that option. You have to have that option available to you in order to win postseason football. You mean to tell me if I got to go play in the snow or play in the rain, I know for a fact before the game kicks off I'm not going to win? That's bullshit. Have your team ready to be able to play in any certain. Thank you, Chicago. Chicago weather would be horrible if we had to end up going there, right? If we end up having to go to Chicago, if we end up having to go to Green Bay, end up having to go to Philly, end up having to go to New York. Like there's places you can go in the NFC and you need to run the football. You need to run the football. Or what about this? What if the division race is tight at the end of the year? What if the division race is tight and you need to win out, but you got to go on the road to Pittsburgh, or you got to go on the road to Baltimore or some shit like that, man? Like, come on now. Yeah, Seattle don't have great football weather either. When it gets later to the season, it's super rainy and windy, right? So you got to think about it, man. You got to build this team with that option. You got to be able to play smash mouth football at times, or like we talk about with Dak Prescott. Y'all talk about the deer eye shit. Okay, if Dak Prescott got deer eye, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be able to win the game, because he might not have it right now, but he might get back on track. I need to be able to run the football, keep the game close until my quarterback can snap out of it. Or, if this team is susceptible to the run, I need to run football any damn way. If I know for a fact I can generate explosive plays in the ground game, why the hell am I throwing the ball 40 times? So I need to have options in how I attack defenses, because you're real predictable and you're real easy to defend when they know you're going to throw the ball 40, 50, 60 times in a game. When they know you got to throw the ball 40, 50, 60 times in a game, it's hard for you to win football games, bro. It is. And this is a copycat league, bro. It's a copycat league. Everybody's looking at the team that made it to the championship game. Everybody see that they had running backs that were good, or they had a good stable of running backs, and they had good linebacker play. And that's what's going to happen. Teams are going to actually look at the teams that made it into the championship round, and they're going to construct their rosters in similar fashions. They always do. It's a copycat league. If you win championships playing a certain style of football, everybody else is going to follow suit. Like, we can do that too. So if a team wins a championship running the football, stopping the run, guess what? It's a copycat league. More guys are going to invest in that. So the Dallas Cowboys need to strike while the iron's hot. Yeah, Kelvin Hicks. But that's the thing. You don't have to worry about Dak Prescott being concerned about those passing coverages if you run them out of it. If you are able to run the ball efficiently, and you make them stack the box, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be playing a single high safety look. Whether it's cover 1, whether it's cover 3, it's going to end up being one-on-ones on the outside. It's going to be one-on-ones on the outside. That's an easier matchup to diagnose and take advantage of than it is worrying about everything else. So if you run the football, you can force them into looks that are not that great against the pass. You can force them into looks that aren't that great against the pass if you consistently run the football against them. If you force that extra man into the box, you will get the one-on-ones on the outside that a veteran quarterback like Dak Prescott can easily identify and take advantage of. Right? In theory, of course. But Miller, that's not exactly the case because you've seen Dak Prescott play well in the postseason. So the only thing I would ask for the Dallas Cowboys to do is to give Dak Prescott a running game in the postseason, because Dak Prescott's record when the running backs account for 100 yards or more is 2-1. The only game that they lost was his rookie year when Aaron Rodgers completed that 3rd and 20, right? Because he played good in that game. So three game sample size of Dak Prescott having a run game in the playoffs, he's won 2 of them. So let's see if we can duplicate that in the postseason going forward. Right? Let's see if we can duplicate that. Because listen, that's a scenario where Dak Prescott has success in the postseason. So let's get to that. Let's get to that. Because I want y'all to remember, the run game no-showed against the Rams in 2018. The run game no-showed against the 49ers in both games. The run game no-showed against the Packers this game. So, yes, Dak Prescott is not going to be good enough to go out there and beat a playoff team by himself. He's not. I ain't tripping on that. He won't be able to. But, I found a scenario where Dak Prescott can help us get there. Exactly. So I tell you what, if Dak Prescott gets a run game and he gets a defense that's going to hold up for him, and they still don't have success, then we can have that conversation about that. But I've seen Dak Prescott's track record when he has a running game, and he has a winning postseason record when he gets a running game. He just happens to be 0-4 when the running back's no call, no show in the work. You know what I mean? So I'm sure there's more factors in there, but at surface level, I'm willing to try that first. What's up with you, Jose? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. Oh yeah, Dak Prescott needs help, and if we're being honest, Patrick Mahomes needs help. That's why they were only a 10-win team this year. Right, they were only a 10-win team this year. Patrick Mahomes was slightly above 500 this year when he did not have good receiving weapons. But Rashid Rice developed and stepped up. He became a trusted target for him. He still had Travis Kelce, who's the best tight end in the National Football League. And he also had a very good run game, a very good play caller, and one of the best defenses in the National Football League. So everybody needs help. Everybody needs help, in my humble opinion. The great quarterbacks, the average quarterbacks, the bad quarterbacks. Like, everybody needs help to win championships in the National Football League. Hey, I appreciate that, Robert Howard. Appreciate y'all for showing love and rocking with your boy in the liquor store, man. So let's continue, though, man. We were talking about championships, winning championships. So Marcus Mosher threw this out there. I don't really have an opinion on this, but I want to get y'all thoughts on it, right? He says that winning Super Bowls are tied to having top tier tight ends, right? If you want to make it to a Super Bowl, you need a top tier tight end. So let's take a look at this and see if we agree with that. Dallas Clark, Jeremy Shockey in 2009. Both of them were good tight ends. Jeremy Shockey was that dude back in the gap. Like, no lie. Like they were, like, no lie, they were a real good. Let me see. They might have one that many. Let me see. Yeah, they want. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. Mahomes went 10-6. The Chiefs went 11-6 because they set the starters out the last game of the season. So Mahomes went 10-6. That's what I was thinking about. All right, so I appreciate you for clearing that up for me, bro. All right, so Dallas Clark, Jeremy Shockey. I would say both of those guys were top tier tight ends in their day. So Dallas Clark, I don't know. Would y'all consider Dallas Clark a Hall of Fame caliber tight end? I don't know if I would go that far, but Dallas Clark was a damn good tight end in his day. He was an All-Pro, won a Super Bowl. He was a good tight end. He was a good tight end. His ceiling was great. Jeremy Shockey, I think he was a real good tight end too. I don't know if he was tight end like a Hall of Fame caliber either, but he was a damn good tight end. He also was an All-Pro, made 4 Pro Bowl selections in his tenure, won 2 Super Bowls. So yeah, that year, they definitely were some two good tight ends. Jermichael Finley, we know the kind of numbers that he put up when healthy. Only thing that held Jermichael Finley back was injury, so we can say he was a real good tight end. Heath Miller was a 2-time Pro Bowler, so he was a pretty good tight end. Rob Gronkowski goes without saying. I have no idea who this Jake Ballard boy was. Vernon Davis was a real good tight end in my opinion. He got off to a slow start to his career, but he definitely was a playmaker and a game changer with his athletic prowess. Let's see who else is on this list. Of course, Travis Kelce and George Kittle this year. Travis Kelce and Dallas Goedert. I hate the Eagles, but Dallas Goedert is one of the best tight ends in the league. Tyler Higbee is solid. CJ Uzomah is decent. Travis Kelce and Rob Gronkowski, both of those boys are Hall of Famers. Travis Kelce and George Kittle again. Rob and Tyler Higbee. Rob Gronkowski and Zach Ertz. Martellus Bennett. So I'll say this. Having a good tight end doesn't hurt. I'm not saying that's the end all be all. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the correlation he's trying to throw out there, but I do believe that having a good tight end definitely helps your cause. A big target in the middle of the field, great at blocking, like a good tight end definitely helps elevate a team. And it's not like we got to go out and find a good tight end. We got Jake Ferguson. He made a Pro Bowl selection this year. He was dope. Like Jake Ferguson is going to be a real good one. Notice what I didn't say you need. Shut down defense. Let me take a look at your list, my boy. Run game, great tight end, great wide receiver, shut down defense. Quarterback. You didn't mention quarterback because listen, I know folks be upset, but there is no talent gap. There's no really talent scale for quarterbacks winning championships because bad quarterbacks have won championships, good quarterbacks have won championships. Great quarterbacks have won championships. You know what I mean? Like there's really not a standard of talent for a quarterback to win a ship. So we think about a Trent Dilford, we think about a Doug Williams, we think about a Brad Johnson, we think about some of the quarterbacks that made it to championships, right? So there's not really a standard for great for talent. Right, because one thing, this is one thing I want to throw out there. There's a narrative that Dak Prescott has peaked. Right, there's a narrative that Dak Prescott has peaked in his development and his skill set and his talent. And my only response to that is, so what? Even if that is the case, even if I love Doug Williams because of what him winning did for the culture, but Doug Williams was an average quarterback at best, bro. Doug Williams was not a great quarterback. He was not a great quarterback. Willie T, I knew you gonna get it. Hell no. There's not a metric that said that Doug Williams is a good quarterback. Not a singular metric. Not a singular metric, bro. I be trying to have leeway with Doug Williams, but man, like Doug Williams was no great quarterback. Said neither one were Hall of Famers, but both good. And this I'm not trying to take a personal assault on Doug Williams. You know, I'm not trying to say anything crazy about him. I'm just saying he wasn't like an elite, top caliber quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't like an elite, upper echelon quarterback. You can win, like I said, you can win with bad, good, average, great. Like there's all kinds of quarterbacks that won championships. What's up with you, Miss Regina Green? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel. Salute to you. Salute, salute, salute. All right, so let's see. But listen, even if Dak Prescott has reached his peak, Dak Prescott's peak is leading the NFL in passing touchdowns and being a second-team All-Pro. Meaning Dak Prescott's peak is to being the second best quarterback in any given season. That's Dak Prescott's peak. You mean to tell me that we can't win a championship with somebody whose peak is being the second best quarterback in the league? And that's the same thing with Romo. I felt if Tony Romo had left Dallas, he would have probably won a championship because that was also Tony Romo's peak. Tony Romo was considered the second best quarterback in the National Football League in 2014. He was considered the second best quarterback in the National Football League for that season. And had Tony Romo probably went to a different team that put the pieces around him to be successful, that put the coaching staff around him to be successful, he would have probably won a championship. And I feel the same exact way for Dak Prescott. Right? You don't just have all-pro quarterbacks and they're the reason you don't win. That is an organizational failure. So when you look back at it, especially if Dak leaves and he has success elsewhere. So if you look back at it, this will be a organizational failure if Dak Prescott does not win a championship. Right? That's like looking at the damn Chargers. You had Drew Brees and you got rid of him for Phillip Rivers, who was also a good quarterback, but you got rid of a future Hall of Fame quarterback. You gave up on him too early before he developed, and you know your franchise never really recovered from that. You know what I mean? Like, it's an organizational failure when you have a player that can play at top 2 or top 5 at their position, and you can't put them in position to win you a title. Now, you had one of the best pass rushers in league history in DeMarcus Ware, and you could not get to a championship game with him under contract, right? You had Dez Bryant. You couldn't get him to a championship game. Like, you couldn't put enough pieces together to make a good enough team for him to go, right? So the Dallas Cowboys have had multiple All-Pros, multiple great teams, and they keep wetting the bed. And at some point, man, and listen, everybody that leaves had success. DeMarcus Ware had success. Javarius Ward, who's playing in another Super Bowl, has had success once leaving the Dallas Cowboys. Anthony Hitchens has had success. Randy Gregory has had success. What's the boy that we drafted out of LSU, the cornerback? Morris Claiborne has had success. Even Bryce Young, not Bryce Young. Y'all know who the hell I'm talking about. The damn corner. Byron Jones. I don't know why the hell I messed that man's name up. Byron Jones left and had successful seasons outside of Dallas. So what I'm trying to say is everybody that leaves Dallas has some level of success, man. We have some level of success once they leave. So, man, at some point we got to just be honest and say it's an organizational failure on why we're not winning championships, bro. It's an organizational failure why we keep having all these top tier players and not succeeding. And once we put that onus on the front office, once we put that onus on maybe the coaching staff that's calling the plays, then we can have a real conversation about that. because players play, but players also get traded. Players also retire. You know, coaches leave. At some point, man, the one constant that you have from year to year to year to year to year to year to year is the organization as a whole. So those are organizational failures, right? You can put the failures of Dak Prescott on Dak Prescott for the years he's been here. That's fine. You can put the failures of Tony Romo on the failures of Tony Romo for when he's been here. But there also was one constant why they were here, and that's the front office. And mainly, I'm looking at Stephen Jones right now, because the more information that I've received from people that are in the know, Stephen Jones is the one that really running the show right now, man. Stephen Jones is really the one in the way. Like Jerry just be getting out here talking a lot, but Stephen Jones is the one that's keeping some of these contracts from getting done. Stephen Jones is the one is the one not making or calling back for some of these trade offers. It's Stephen Jones. You know, we seen Brian Bryder say it. We seen other people come out and say it. You know, we seen some former players. You know, they didn't outright. You know, there's a fine line of what you can and can't say publicly without getting blackballed. But we've even had some players mention that Stephen Jones might be the issue in Dallas. So, you know, I'm just gonna throw that out there. 434 Cowboy, what's up with you, man? Rico, what's up with y'all, man? But yeah, organizational failures, in my opinion. Organizational failures. He said, and people want Jerry to be gone. Hell nah, it's about to be hell when Jerry kicked the can. I can agree with that too, bro. I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. Cause listen, I was mad at Jerry too. But when you sit back and you think about it, bro, when you sit back and think about it, what the hell does Jerry Jones even actually do? Right? What does he actually even do? You know, half the time besides sign the check and put his name on it. We know that he's not really doing the drafting. That's more Will McClay. That's more the coaches getting their inputs in and shit. He be in the room with them, but that's not really Jerry Jones. You know, that's more Will McClay. That's more Mike McCarthy. At one point, you know, that was more Dan Quinn, because he did have his input of some of the defensive players. It's not really Jerry Jones even doing the contracts half the time, because we all know that Stephen Jones was the one that put that language in there that made Randy Gregory renege on the contract. So, you know, we know that Jerry Jones isn't really at 80 plus years old running around here controlling the whole organization. It's just not realistic. So what does Jerry Jones do for me to be upset with him the way that I was upset with him? When I really sat back and I thought about it like that, man, Jerry Jones probably ain't the problem right now, because he's not the one with power. He's not really the one with power. The only thing that Jerry Jones did that rubbed me the wrong way with the Trey Lance stuff, and even then, a lot of people were like the move because Trey Lance got a bunch of upside. So the one thing that he did that people can criticize was not talk to anybody about bringing in Trey Lance, and that might not even be a bad move down the line when you think about it. Yeah, my boy, we only talk about realistic shit in here, my guy. But thank you for tapping in. We don't talk about fantasy football, Madden kind of deals and shit. You know, we talk about stuff that can actually happen. But I appreciate you for tapping in. He said Dan Quinn only cared about himself. That Green Bay smells more and more shit. Dan Quinn threw that game. I'm really just ready to see who our defensive coordinator will be this year, man. I'm really just ready to see who our defensive coordinator will be this year. But yo, I want y'all to do me a favor though, man, because I'm finna get ready to wrap this up. Lunch hour is almost over. Tonight, I need y'all to tap in with my boys. You know, landlord from Alabama, boss Cowboy. Even the brother Okoye will be up on there, man. Hold on. Oh yeah, I read it. That's why I said what I said. Because I'm not talking about trading players that have no trade clauses and aren't willing to remove them. Like, nobody believes that. And there was a rumor that was floating around. That's not going to happen. Like, Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott aren't getting traded anytime soon. That's already being dispelled. There was a random rumor on Facebook, my boy. There was a random rumor on Facebook. Nor, because we already did shows about the possibility of Dak Prescott getting traded, what it would take, what it looks like. It still don't make no sense. So yeah, but I did read it though, my boy. I don't want you to think I didn't read it. I read it. That's why I made that comment. But yeah, man. So make sure that y'all tap into Boss Land tonight, 8 p.m. Show my brother them some love. Okoye will be on. Landlord will be on. Of course, the brother Boss Cowboy will be on, man. So y'all make sure y'all go over there, show them boys some love, rock out with them. It's gonna be a great experience. I'll probably be live again tonight before that happens, about 6:15, 6:30. So y'all tap in here as well. But thank y'all for the love, thank y'all for the support, and I'm gonna holler at y'all, man.